Good morning, Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Thanks so much for joining us. Hey, yeah, my eye, I blew out a small capillary in there. I think it has something to do with the blood thinners that they have me on, but it is what it is. Okay. You know something I think is a conversation I had this morning at breakfast. And I think actually it's worth having that same conversation with everybody else. So bear with me, but shouldn't you be solid up front right now and say, this is what I expect. This is the way I am before any relationship gets going? Let's talk about it.
Why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Okay, so this morning, as you know, on every Tuesday and Thursday, I go to Tequila Reef for breakfast. This morning, I'm talking to a friend of mine, Phil, and we're having a conversation. And in the course of that conversation, we talk about all kinds of things, all right? One of the subjects that came up was, hey, most recently, a young lady that he had been dating, I guess is the best word for it, and how it had slightly tapered off, and because it was a little dissatisfied with it. And we started talking, and what originally, and I'm not going to go into a lot of it because I really do respect Phil and his privacy, but one of the things that came of this is setting the expectations immediately up front. And what do we mean by that? Well, you know something? I said to Phil, I said, you know something, Phil? We are too old. We have worked too hard. And we've worked too long to get to where we are in our lives to not be happy. And I say that to you as well. Certainly, we have worked too hard, worked too long, and been in too much of a life to be unhappy. Don't you deserve happiness? Now, that doesn't mean be an asshole. That doesn't mean that. But what I am talking about is setting the stage and setting the record for expectations immediately. And what do I mean by that? I mean being brutally honest before you even get deeply involved in any relationship as to what your expectations are. When you meet a young lady, a young woman, a young man, whatever your preferences are, we don't care, all right? But when you do, shouldn't your happiness be a primary motivating factor in whether to continue to pursue a relationship? It damn well should be, all right? You didn't come to the Philippines. You're not considering coming to the Philippines. You're not in the Philippines to make everybody happy but yourself. So what does that mean? That means you need to do two things. Number one, before anything, you need to get a piece of paper and a pencil. What do you expect out of somebody that you're having a relationship with? All right? What are your expectations? Okay? Then finally, once you've got that down pat, item number 2. Read that list again and make sure it's being realistic. So now you've got your realistic list of what your expectations are. And you meet this young lady, then you tell her, hey, I expect this, and this, or however many there are, out of this relationship. This is what I expect out of you. I expect you. Maybe it's, I expect you to dress this way. I expect you to present yourself this way. I expect you to act this way. I expect you to be this way. And if that's not what she wants, but then before that conversation's over, you need to then give her the opportunity to tell you, hey, yes, I can do that. Yes, I accept that. Yes, I expect this out of you as well. Now, I'm not saying pay for play. I'm not talking about that. All right? What I'm talking about is, you know something? If we're going to dinner, I would like for you to wear a nice dress. I would like for you to wear some moderate heels. All right? I'm not talking about going to Jollibee and picking up chicken. I'm talking about a nice dinner. If I'm going to introduce you to my friends, if we're going out with our friends, I expect you to be presentable. I expect XYZ at home. Are you going to, you know, if we ever get to a point where you move in with me, this is what I expect. And you know something? And as much as I hate to say it, this is the truth. You better set your sexual expectations out right off the get-go. Because really and truly, while the vast majority of failed relationships fail because of finances, the second reason is because of dissatisfied sexual frustration. All right? You need to make sure that those things are taken care of. And as much as I hate to say it, it's true. And if you don't like it, think about it for a second. Why did your relationships in your own country fail? Why are you here? All right? It may be not just that. It may be an issue of respect. It may be an issue of whatever. But you need to cover those items with whoever it is you're going to have a relationship with. Now, you may be in that position that say, you know something? I'm not going to have a relationship. I am going to be single, and I'm going to be able to date who I want, and I'm going to go from X, Y, and Z. Well, the vast majority of guys that I know that have said that are always looking for a more permanent solution. That's just the way it goes. That's what we've seen. And with that being said, perhaps you will be too. I don't know. Set your expectations up front. It is better that way by far. You would be being honest and being truthful right off the get-go when it comes to what you expect is always going to pay off far better than beating around the bush and finding out, no, that's not the way I am. No, that's not what I'm going to do. No, you have got to do that. You have no choice. All right. Well, you do. You have to. You can go trial and error and this and that and, you know, whatever. But if that's what you want, if the chase is part of the expectation that you have, great. But in the end, isn't it something that you want? And if it's something that you want, isn't it better to get that out there? These are my expectations. If we are going to date, if we are going to be in a relationship, if we are going to be a couple, this is what I expect out of my partner. And as that partnership changes, grows, changes from dating to a live-in to this and that, well, those things may change too. Always be upfront. Always have it set so that your expectations are being answered and taken care of. I have some chapped lips. I don't know why. But either way, with that being said, isn't that what's important? I don't know. Tell us, what do you think? Tell us how you feel. Those are the most important parts. Let's hear it. Thanks.